Craig Jones crossed the line while facing off with his female opponent, and it went viral all over the internet. Craig Jones grabbed Gabi Garcia and kissed her during the face-off.
Cross the line. You cross the line. Cross the line. Cross the line. Sai daqui, porra!
Everyone was buzzing about this fight, Craig Jones versus Gabi Garcia. The hype was real, and Craig took it up a notch in the pre-fight face-off. That wasn't just any fight, it was the most watched grappling match ever, part of the biggest event with the highest prize pool in history.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is $1 million in cash.
Falls stays.
That is so ridiculous.
For the sport. This contest started on the wrong foot, or was it another publicity stunt? What a weekend it was for the Jiu-Jitsu community. In that match, who do you think came out on top in this showdown between an insanely athletic woman and a dude? Let's find out more about this blockbuster intergender fight and CGI event and the BJJ war between ADCC and CGI. Before going into detail, if you like explainers in MMA, you've landed in the right place. Sportskeeda MMA. So hit the subscribe button and don't forget to smash the bell icon to never miss any of our videos. Last weekend, we had the hottest weekend in Jiu-Jitsu, probably one of the most incredible times we ever witnessed in the long history of the sport. Las Vegas, Nevada became the center of the BJJ universe with ADCC, the most prestigious tournament in all of grappling, and the Craig Jones Invitational. CGI was the brainchild of Craig Jones, one of the GOATs in Jiu-Jitsu, and it promised a record-breaking $1 million in prize money for all winners. In CJI, not only money was on the show, but blockbuster matchups in BJJ. There were two super fights. In an all-women's matchup, we had Fionn Davis taking on UFC fighter and former ADCC champion Mackenzie Dern. This was almost like a generational thing. Passing of the torch. Old guard versus new guard in female BJJ. But the one that everyone was buzzing about, Craig Jones versus Gabi Garcia. An intergender match. Gabi is 6'2", 235 pounds. Goodness. One of a kind in the fighting world. She's a multiple-time world champion in submission grappling, a total badass woman, and look at the size of her. God damn. Then we had Craig Jones, one of the greatest of all time in grappling. Let's leave it at that. The whole of the fighting community was hot on this matchup. It was a once-in-a-lifetime match and was promoted as such. The hype was real, especially after Craig spilled the beans about a crazy bet on Lex Friedman's podcast.
If she wins, I'll personally give her $1 million. If I can footlock her, we're going to collaborate together in an OnlyFans sex tape.
Did she agree to this?
She shook on it.
Then came the supposed forced kiss by Craig on Gabi. Craig went ahead and kissed Gabi in the face-off and then dipped out laughing. Gabi, she was not having it and went on a supposed anger rampage. Those who think the kiss has nothing to do with the promotion are all fools. Guys, it's blatantly obvious. It was surely a quick eye grab moment, but let it be. They did it for a purpose and succeeded where the majority failed. Craig Jones has seemingly cracked the marketing code. On the fighting front, Joe Rogan was all praise for Jones. He got Craig pegged as the second best grappler on the planet, just behind Gordon Ryan. Joe even weighed in on the matchup, saying he'd have bet his entire life savings on Craig.
If there was betting on that fight, I would have bet everything I've ever earned in my life. I would have leveraged it. I would have called banks. I would have called my business manager and said, what else can we sell? What else can we sell?
Coming over to the results of the CJI, it was a great event at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas. The headliner had the whole world watching, pulling in 150,000 viewers. This is unheard of in the world of grappling. From the jump, he controlled the fight with his slick technique. Gabi's incredible size and strength couldn't keep up with Craig's speed and submission game. Craig even tried a rare move called the Twister, missed it, but then locked in a nasty heel hook, only to let it go before doing real damage. The fight's peak when Craig transitioned into a rear naked choke that made Gabi tap out.
He's got the submission attempt here. All he's got to do is pull and the torsion.
Respect though. After the fight, they hugged it out and squashed the beef. Coming over to the women's super fight, pound for pound best Fionn Davies delivered a dominant performance against former ADCC champion Mackenzie Dern, securing a decisive submission victory. The 80 kg division is hailed as the most stacked in grappling history, and 21-year-old prodigy Cade Ruotolo triumphed in spectacular fashion. Right now, he might be considered the pound-for-pound best grappler in the world. While CJI showcased numerous impressive performances, Andrew Tackett, Lucas Canard, and Felipe Andrews stood out with their breakout performances. Let me take a moment and give props to the whole CJI team. Craig Jones would put up $1 million for the tournament winners at his own event. CJI is the first tournament ever introduced in BJJ to pay $1 million to the winner. Yes, folks, $1 million US. $1 million up for grabs in CJI. My goodness, that is ridiculous.
Did Craig Jones just change Jiu-Jitsu? He might have. He might have just changed the sport of Jiu-Jitsu. Now, I don't know. It's too early to tell. But that conversation is relevant. That idea, that talking point at a bare minimum is on the table of things that at least have to be discussed because of what an enormous...
$1 million on one side, and then you had the ADCC, which was, as usual, more action-packed and exciting as far as the matches go. Everybody knows about ADCC. Abu Dhabi Combat Club is the grandest stage in grappling, no doubt. Only the best, the elite, participate in this. Just a few short months ago, the Craig Jones Invitational was merely a concept. What initially seemed like a joke from tournament organizer Craig Jones has now exploded onto the BJJ and grappling scene, making a landmark moment in the sport. CJI took ADCC head on in the same city and announced show money for all participants. This prompted ADCC to take action, and ADCC later confirmed the same. The first place prize in ADCC has always been 10 grand, ever since its beginning in 1998. Factor in inflation, and the $10,000 prize money becomes around $5K. It's a lose-lose situation for athletes staying with ADCC. CJI filled the whole arena with an energetic and boisterous crowd that frequently broke into spontaneous chants and erupted during the event's key moments. In contrast, ADCC, with its multiple matches running simultaneously and had a more dispersed audience at the T-Mobile Arena, appearing relatively calm and subdued. In CJI, athletes got paid. Not only the ones who won, but others who couldn't make it up to the podium. So Craig Jones and the whole CJI team deserve to be given the flowers for what he's done here. This can be a welcome change in the grappling world. Taking CJI as an example, it can indeed inspire other promoters to follow suit and offer serious payouts. It's a win-win for everyone involved in CJI, the athletes, the fans, and the growth of the sport itself. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Craig Jones just shook up the entire BJJ world with his CJI. Whatever happens with CJI in the future, nobody knows, but definitely it's shaken the roots of ADCC, the Goliath of BJJ. What's your view on CJI? Can it compete with ADCC? Did Craig Jones go over the top with Gabi before the matchup? What's your opinion on this intergender showdown? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Also, like, share, and subscribe to Sportskeeda MMA for more dope stories just like this one. Finally, don't forget to hit the bell icon and never miss any of our videos.